And I do believe we're live. Hiya. There's some people in the chat already. Hello, Rodders Pop. Scotty Nations Pop.
Party rings!
Yeah, it's party time with the king of the party rings. Sounds almost like a pay-per-view name, isn't it? King of the party rings. Rodders saying hi to Rach. Hope all is well. Do you think Jimmy misplaced his clock? Well, no, it's just turned 8 o'clock according to.
Patience, young man.
Yeah. I'm glad you're keen though, Rodders, to talk about. So welcome. Those of you who are here for Royal Rumble, our discussion on that pay-per-view last month, thank you for that. And welcome back to this one when we're going to have a look at Elimination Chamber and predict the matches. Elimination Chamber, of course, takes place tomorrow evening on the WWE Network. Before I get going, I would like to introduce my panel. We've got Rach Kappa, who is to the right of me. Hi, Rach.
Hi, Jimmy.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
You looking forward to the pay-per-view?
I am, because I'm interested to see how. I think the only match I'm really interested in is the WWE match, the championship match.
It's going to be interesting. Though we'll obviously get onto that. Seated below me, not literally, because she's thousands of miles away, but below me on the screen is the Night Owl. Hiya, Vicky. How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Been busy today, but really excited to be talking wrestling with you again. And Vicky, you're on Twitch later on, aren't you?
Yeah, at 6 p.m. EST.
So, which will be, is that 11 o'clock UK time? So if anyone's on Twitch and you want to talk more wrestling, Vicky's going to be doing yet more chat, presumably about general wrestling stuff. I don't know, Vicky. So make sure that you go and follow Vicky on Twitch. And last but not least, Jason Clow, Not Suitable for Mum. Hi, Jace.
Hello.
You're looking forward to Elimination Chamber, mate?
Yeah, I think so. Seeing the direction that WWE have been going in lately, I think it could be the best one we've had for a while.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
But before we get going with Elimination Chamber specifically, I've been intrigued. I started trying to work it out in my head, and then I just gave up. I couldn't be bothered. But I thought, I really want to know what the first results of our prediction contest are. If you can let us know how everyone did for the Royal Rumble race, take it away.
Okay, well, to be honest with you, 2 of the matches didn't happen.
That's
so.
True.
Yeah. I shall do it in reverse order. So, with 1 point, I'm afraid it's Vicky.
I know, I suck.
Yeah,
it's early days, Vicky. It's early days.
You got Sasha. You got Sasha right.
Yep.
In joint, I suppose second. Yeah, is me and Rach with 2 points each. Yeah, and your saving grace, Jimmy, because you got 3, was the Drew McIntyre thing, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Well, Drew, he came through for me. So there we are. So, not that it really makes a lot of difference at this early stage, as we've still got at least 11, probably more pay-per-views to go before we declare a 2021 winner. But that's the state of play at the moment in the Predictions League. Me on 3, Rach and Jace on 2, and Vicky on 1. But all to play for. And Elimination Chamber, I think I'm going to be winging a lot of my predictions.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, some of these are going to be quite difficult to pick for me anyway. So unless anyone's got anything particular they want to mention relating to wrestling, then we can get going. I mean, obviously Vicky will have plenty to talk about on Twitch later on, so I won't force you to be repeating yourself and get hoarse tonight, Vicky. That's an expression, Jason. It's not about actual horses, so don't.
Are you sure? No.
Well, he does love his farm animals, doesn't he?
Whoa, Niddy.
I'm having a quick look at the chat before we get going. Geeky Heathen, Glenn, Thanks for coming in, mate. Rach is to your left, our right. Yep, sorry, my brain is working. And Scotty says, "See, Jimmy, us Scots do some good stuff. You give us content, and Drew gives you the win." Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Scotland's finest, Drew McIntyre. Right, so Elimination Chamber, it happens tomorrow, and well, card subject to change, but if we do have to make any last-minute predictions, if we're all still awake at that time, I don't think I'll be watching it live.
No.
Pretty unlikely, but I will watch it on the Monday morning. But we may have to make some last-minute predictions, but we'll make the bulk of our predictions here tonight, and then we can discuss each match. So, Rach, if you want to get us started in whatever order you think appropriate, please.
Well, I'm going to start with the match that was announced yesterday, which is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Ah,
right, yeah. So, Bianca Belair, who, as we know, won the Women's Royal Rumble, did one of you pick her?
I think I did.
Yes, I seem to recall someone mentioning Bianca Belair, and
I did.
Yeah. So yeah, well done to Jace. That was a very good call there. So yeah, Bianca Belair, who will be getting a title shot of on one of the brands at WrestleMania, and Sasha Banks, who she's still the SmackDown champion, isn't she?
Yep.
They're challenging Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the Women's Tag Team Championship. We'll do it, ladies first. Go in the normal order. So, Rach, who have you got for this one?
I think only out there yesterday. I can't see him taking the belts off them straight away. I'm going to say Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler retained.
Okay. Rach says the champions to retain. Okay, Vicky, do you agree with that, or do you feel we might see new women's tag champs?
Well, I think we're going to see new ones. But I mean, has Bianca given her what do you call it? Has she given her choice for who she's going to go against at WrestleMania?
As far as I know, she hasn't.
No, I don't think so.
If I'm wrong,
I think she may announce it tonight or tomorrow night. You never know, because it has to be soon. So, but I'm going to go with new tag team champs. I'm going to go with Sasha and Bianca.
Okay. Fair enough. Right, so Jason, which way are you going to side here? Do you think the champions will stay champions, or do you think Sasha?
To be honest with you, the Sasha Bianca thing looks like it's really just put in place to further their storyline. I'm supposing gearing up for Mania, if that's the way it goes.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. It's like a last-minute Vince McMahon decision to say, all right, let's put these two in a match. Because they haven't got anyone else they want to face. Sasha, Nia and Shayna. So I think I'm going to stick with, for that reason alone, Nia and Shayna to retain.
Okay, so that's 2 for Nia and Shayna and 1 for Sasha and Bianca. A little bit difficult for me, this. I'm kind of thinking maybe a little bit ahead of myself, but what with Bianca and Sasha tagging together, that is seemingly sowing some seeds for Bianca Belair challenging Sasha for SmackDown Championship at WrestleMania, rather than her looking towards Raw or even NXT. You would think that is what's going to happen, but I was just thinking because the first women's Dusty Cup, the Dusty Rhodes Classic, happened on NXT recently, and the winners of that, which I believe were Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, I think. they're due a title shot on NXT against whoever the champions are.
Exactly.
I thought they'd announced the date. I thought they said it was an episode of NXT in March.
March the 3rd, I think.
Yep.
That rings a bell, actually, Chase.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Nia and Shayna retain. Presumably they'll still be champions by March the 3rd. I can't really see two heel teams really working very well. I suppose if anywhere it can work, it'd be NXT, and I suppose it'd only be like a kind of one-off thing. I'm just wondering whether they will be the champions going in.
It would be, it'd be a good way to represent NXT though at Mania if they're the champs.
Yeah, I mean, I can't actually see Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez beating whoever the champs are. I mean, it'd be nice if they did, I suppose, simply because I think if the women's tag titles were on NXT more full time, they'd suddenly get a lot more prominence. You know, they still seem to be a bit of an afterthought.
It is, yeah.
Being on Raw and I suppose occasionally SmackDown. So yeah, just with that in mind, yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of a risk here. I'm gonna go with Vicky on this one. I'm gonna say Sasha and Bianca to win the titles, simply because I think them as a babyface team.
Yeah.
And if they lost to Dakota and Raquel on NXT, I mean, that there could probably be some sort of good angle written there, where there'd be some instant sort of fallout between Sasha and Bianca, in for their match, what we assume will be a match at WrestleMania. But who knows? Who knows? It's all still fairly far in the distance. Rodders has said, will Reginald be at ringside, though, as he diverted from Carmella?
I don't know. She doesn't like him very much right now, so probably not.
And Scotty says, with the way WWE book stuff, it wouldn't surprise me if what you said will happen. Sasha and Bianca for the win. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a toss-up for me, but just thinking about the NXT thing, that's why I was wondering we perhaps may be new champions. Okay, right, next match, please, Rach.
Well, the next match I've written down is for the WWE Universal Championship match, Elimination Chamber. So it's whoever wins that match, Roman Reigns will go against it later on in the show.
Yeah.
So
right, take the Elimination Chamber match, and then we can do the Blank versus Roman one right after, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens versus King Corbin, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. So as Rach said, it's pretty much a number one contenders Universal title match. A little bit of a weird way of doing it, really, because you think a number one contender would get the shot at WrestleMania, but no, they're getting the shot later on this evening, or tomorrow evening, I should say. But the competitors: Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan. Okay, fairly interesting lineup here. I think I can see who I would like to win, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. We'll see what Rach has to say and who Rach's pick is this time.
Right. I don't think it's going to be Jey Uso. I think Kevin Owens had his shot at the Rumble. King Corbin, why is he still using the King gimmick? Because he was King of the Ring, 3 years ago? Sami Zayn, no, I can't see them putting the title on him. So, do I think he's going to go on Cesaro or Daniel Bryan? Both men deserve it. But I'm going to go with Cesaro.
Okay.
And I think he's working so hard for all these years that he's been with WWE, and he deserves the title shot.
Yeah. Vicky, you've got 6 to choose from here. Which one's your pick?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of listening to what Rach said, Jay, he's siding with Roman. So if he wins, then who knows what'll happen. Corbin, I could do without him. Sammy, yeah, I don't get it. Daniel and Cesaro and Kevin. Let me know Kevin still has a vendetta against Roman Reigns. So this is a hard one for me, but I think I'm going to go with Cesaro too, for the exact same reason that Rach is, because he's such a good wrestler. He makes his own outfits. He does everything himself, and he's really got the character down packed. I think he deserves it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Not suitable for Mum. Who's winning the SmackDown Elimination Chamber?
Oh, crikey, this is a tough one. Okay, I don't think Sammy. I don't think he's had enough build-up. Corbin, I think, is always going to be sort of up at mid-card. I don't think if they ever put the title on him, I don't think people would buy it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, admittedly, this is just a match for that. Now, Jay is a possibility because of them pulling a fast one. Oh, crikey. I'd like to go with Cesaro, but I don't know.
Yeah.
He deserves it. The thing is, I know we got the other match to get into, but I'm trying to think who they're going to put in that is either going to be a complete cakewalk, which suggests Jay, or if they're going to make it someone who can really go toe to toe with him, which would suggest Kevin Owens. Do you know what? Sorry, I'm going to go with Cesaro because I want Cesaro to win.
We've got 3 for Cesaro. That's fair. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with going with your heart. I mean, it's
probably completely wrong, but
we shall see. Rodders would like Cesaro to win, but Roman will leave as champ. I mean, whatever happens, I think Roman Reigns, he's got to be champion heading into WrestleMania at the very least. Rodders also says Jay wins and lays down for the 3 count. You can see it now. That's a very good shot, very good call. I think that Rodders.
Yeah.
Right. So this one, I think, in relation to King Corbin and Sami Zayn, I can't stand Corbin. Sami Zayn I like, but I think I'd be the first to say both of them are kind of making up the numbers here, particularly with them both being heels anyway. If they win and then it's Roman versus either of them, I mean, that's, there's not an awful lot of heat there. Kevin Owens is possible, I think, because although you would have thought that would have all climaxed at that last man standing match, which was good for the most part, and then they had that cock up with the handcuffs and the count and everything, which kind of ruined it quite a lot. I would say he's a possibility. Daniel Bryan, what are they saving Daniel Bryan for the match against Roman at Mania though? I kind of thinking that the last person to be eliminated, like the 5th person or the last one out, 5 out of 6, will be the guy who faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But I don't know. I mean, plus we have got Fastlane to get through as well. So that
it sounds like a follow-up to an old movie, Saving Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that's the thing with Daniel. I'd be perfectly fine with seeing him versus Roman either at the Elimination Chamber or even at WrestleMania in like a really big match. I don't know. I'm not really feeling much of what he's doing at the moment. It's like he's there, and I appreciate the fact that he's there and he's competing. But I don't know. I feel like his career is winding down. I mean, he's retired once and then unretired already.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there could be maybe a bigger match for Roman at WrestleMania. It's difficult, this, and I do like Rodder's theory about Jay winning. I mean,
that's what I thought.
So meant to be coming back. Could they do some sort of like con job where it was Jimmy in the chamber all along? I don't know. I'm kind of spitballing all kinds of shit in my head now.
Seth Rollins has just come back. Will he do something?
Yeah, that's true. And I don't even think he's booked on this pay-per-view, is he? yet. No. I mean, whether it could get an impromptu match or something. Yeah, you know what, Rodders, I like your outside the box thinking. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say Jey Uso. Yeah, and then I think it's gonna be a simple case of Roman strolling out maybe straight afterwards, getting the pin, and maybe Jimmy will be involved somehow. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jey Uso. Cesaro, I think that's a nice call, but unfortunately, if he wins, then he's probably only going to get squashed by Roman later in the night anyway, and I wouldn't like it to happen to him. I'd rather see him win some sort of number one contenders match at Fastlane or something and then get the WrestleMania title shot. I mean, I can't see it, but I'd rather see Roman versus Cesaro than Reigns versus Bryan at Mania. And that's not a slight on Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, his career isn't really sort of intriguing me or excited me much anymore, which is a bit of a shame, but that's just the way I feel. I mean, people can disagree with that, but there we are. So I think we can go pretty much straight on to Roman Reigns versus blank now. So, Rach, you would assume that it'd be Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. So, who are you picking for it?
Well, I think they're going to save keep the title on Roman until WrestleMania. Maybe Jay, maybe there's a screw finish, but I think Roman's going to win.
Yeah, so Rach says Roman. Vicky, I mean, it's not a given that Reigns is going to walk out of Elimination Chamber as champion. Anything can happen, I know, but it seems a logical course to me. But you may disagree, Vicky. I don't know.
No, I agree with it. Just the way that they've done things because of the heel and Roman makes a tremendous heel, and I'm really glad that they took his character that way. So, unfortunately, as much as I want to see Cesaro with that belt on, I think he's going to have to wait a little bit longer. I think it's going to stay on Roman, and then we'll see what happens at WrestleMania. Because, like Rodgers said, Edge still hasn't chosen who he's going to go against.
That's a very good point. Yeah, and you have to figure that. I mean, Roman versus Edge sounds a more appealing match for me as a fan straight away than say versus Bryan. Cesaro, I don't know. I still think Cesaro needs Vince McMahon to get fully behind him, and I'm not sure that's ever going to happen. But no one. I would certainly 110% agree with you that Cesaro, deserves some sort of push before he gets any much older. But, so we've got 2 for Roman. Jason, are you making it 3 for Roman Reigns here?
Yeah, I think so. That's where the logical money is. I think this would give Cesaro a really good chance. Yeah, okay, his first chance at the title. They're not going to give it to him if he wins. Obviously, they're not going to give it to him. But this is another bit of a push for him. So it could still come to Mania that match could still happen. They could be a rematch or whatever. Right? We don't know. It's very difficult to tell. I like the idea of Edge versus Roman at Mania. Spear, because they teased for ages Goldberg was going to face him. That never happened. And there was this whole Spear versus Spear thing.
Yeah.
So, and I think it would work so much better with Edge than bloody Goldberg.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with Roman. I think.
Yeah.
I can't see anybody else.
It's easy for me. I mean, that's a good point from Jason. If they had it where Cesaro won the Chamber and then he also put in quite a sort of plucky showing against Roman, but he maybe, just gets defeated via a roll up or shenanigans or something, and then that means Cesaro would have a claim for a rematch at Fastlane or even Mania, then that'd be great. With me thinking that it's Jey Uso who's going to win, then I think it's just going to be some sort of screwy kind of deal, and Roman's definitely going to win. But I suppose the Universal title situation regarding WrestleMania is pretty intriguing because Roman's got a plethora of potential opponents, some more exciting than others. I'm not excited for the prospect of Bryan, particularly. Certainly not excited for the prospect of Goldberg, even though I think they're still going to be desperate to do Reigns versus Goldberg at somewhere down the line. Maybe when they can get back into Saudi Arabia, I don't know. Maybe they'll say, if they do save it for that, then fair enough, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Reigns versus Edge, I think that'd actually be a really good match, and I'd be very excited to see that WrestleMania. But no, Roman for the win. We're all picking Roman Reigns to walk out of Elimination Chamber as still Universal Champion. Right, Rachel, next match, please.
The next match I've got written down is the triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship.
Okay.
Between Bobby Lashley, Keith Lee, and Riddle.
Right, we've got triple threat match for the US Championship. We didn't get the US title match that we thought we'd have at Rumble, but with the both Rumbles going an hour-ish apiece, then I don't know why they announced those matches in the first place when it was obviously at least one would get cut and two got cut ultimately, didn't they? But Lashley versus Lee versus Riddle. And Leroy Screwballs in the chat saying Roman to win by strangulation with a BDSM cord.
He's always got to say something stupid, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for Leroy, that's not that stupid. If anyone knows about BDSM cords, so if Leroy Screwballs was a WWE superstar, and then I think that'd be his kind of he would have some sort of dogging sex addict gimmick.
Well, I was going to say, to have a dog leash match.
Maybe like some sort of cross between, I don't know, and the pit bulls or something. But and Lynn Marie's just popping in, say hi, Lynn Marie, nice to see you. It's been a little while. The Jackbox streams will be back next Friday, by the way. Well, this coming Friday.
Yep.
And Leroy also says Keith to win by suffocation with a goose-filled pillow. Okay. Right, so triple threat, US title. Lashley is the champion. The challengers are Keith Lee and Riddle, no longer Matthew Riddle. Ray, who have you got in the US title match?
I don't think Keith Lee's gonna win because Vince doesn't seem to want to do anything with him. They brought him up, but they don't want to do anything with him.
Yeah.
And Riddle, I still don't know what they do with him. So I'm going to take Bobby Lashley with the help of MVP.
Okay, Lashley to retain, says Rach Kappa, the Night Owl. Who have you got in the triple threat?
I'm going to have to go against Rach on that one. I'm going to go for Keith Lee because, like she said, they brought him up and everything else. They need to do something with him, and he could be the competition that Lashley needs. Riddle, like I said, Chase knows how I feel about Riddle, so that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
No one likes poor Riddle.
Yeah, nobody likes him. You know what? People like him, but I don't. I don't know. But anyways, I'm just going to go with Keith Lee because I think he needs the push, and I think it could be something for Vince to start doing more with him against Bobby Lashley because they're both big men, so. Okay. Yep.
So, Vicky is predicting a new champion in Keith Lee. And Jason, who've you got for the United States Championship of the United States of America?
I'll be honest with you. I think they need to put the title on somebody else. I'm sorry, but Bobby's boring.
Yeah. I like the Hurt Business. I think
but
part of a group. I don't find him too bad.
I like the group. I like the group, but Bobby himself is just—it's dull. and he was like that. He's been like that for years. You know, back when he was first in the WWE, doesn't really do anything. Some people that works for. Some people can have that, you know, the no gimmick, no frills attitude, and it works. Him, not so much. And you can tell that the WWE don't really think that because they stuck him in that stupid line with Rusev.
Yeah.
Right, which is completely and utterly pointless. Anyway, shove that over to one side. Matthew Riddle's got moves, right? I don't like his character, but I would have said that he can wrestle fine, right? His whole bro gimmick though needs.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
It needs something done to it because he's just like a stoner bloke, you know. He's like a poor man's version of Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
You know. I think Keith Lee deserves a title. I really do. So I'm going to go with Keith because I think he could run with it and he'd do a good job.
All right, we've got 2 for Keith and 1 for Lashley. Having a look at the chat. Leroy says Riddle to win by baffling his opponent with wordplay. I don't know. I'm not sure actually, Travis.
Not Riddle. No.
I think he'll win by hitting his opponent with a Nick Kershaw record. There. Anyone who's a bit young probably won't get that. Rodden says Keith Lee versus Braun Strowman was a strong storyline that disappeared. Strowman, unfortunately, he's kind of like he's got it. Look, Nick, there. That's going to be Riddle's foreign object of choice tomorrow night. There, the Nick Kershaw record.
There we go.
How about
Strowman, I'm sorry. It's a shame, but I'm so over Strowman.
I thought they closed his chair then.
Yeah, he's injury prone, and I don't know. He could have been like the new monster, really. The kind of, you know, maybe even better than the Big Show, but they just didn't pull the trigger on him properly. And so I don't care an awful lot about this match. I wish I did because I like Riddle. I really like Keith Lee. I think he was called up from NXT way too early because it was only like a month or so after he won the NXT title, and then he dropped it to Karrion Kross, who, fair enough. But I would like to have seen Keith Lee stay in NXT for longer, have a longer run with the NXT title, or just, you know, a longer feud with people like Karrion Kross, Finn Balor, Adam Cole, etc. Whereas, as Rach rightly says, it's Vince McMahon was kind of taken against him, really. He's supposedly been sent back down to developmental once a week, which for someone with the talents of Keith Lee, I mean, bloody hell, the size of the guy, what he can do, I mean, you know, gives even a lump like me hope. But it would do if I could be bothered to get off my arse anyway. But you know, a man that size who isn't exactly, you know, he's not exactly ripped, muscular. You know, he's not exactly muscular either. He's kind of, you know, I think the kids call it thick with 2 C's, don't they?
Yeah, it's a little bit on the chub side.
Yeah, husky. Husky's the fly.
He's a taller Otis.
Yeah, but he can move like almost like a cruiserweight, and it's amazing.
He's horizontally challenged.
No, that's you, Jace. Oh no, that's you're vertically challenged.
There you go.
No Collector United Kingdom is in. Hi, Andrew. Nice to see you. Riddle wins on the back of Lee taking out Lashley. Oh, right. So you're picking Riddle. I need to pick someone. I'm going to side with Rage on this one. I can see Lashley holding the title at least till Fastlane, if not till WrestleMania. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Lashley is my pick. I've only got one match left to predict then, Rage, for this.
Yeah, I've only got one match. There was only like 4 matches until last night.
Yeah. So, we might make some private predictions tomorrow.
I've got one extra one. There's the Elimination Men's one with Drew, but they have a Raw Women's Championship with Asuka versus whoever it's to be announced.
Oh, so yeah. I did hear rumblings that Asuka might be on the card in some form, but no, that's it. Because it was supposed to be Asuka versus Lacey Evans, but Lacey Evans is legit pregnant.
Yeah.
Anyone else find it a little bit creepy that Rick Flair?
Yeah.
Woo, I'm the daddy. I mean, Ric Flair will always make me laugh. You know, he's a legend. I'll always love him. But come on, mate, you're like 70-something years old.
Yeah, Space Mountain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what he used to call it.
Yeah.
True. Enough about Flair's genitals.
Okay.
So I don't know what should we do about. I mean, shall we predict the Raw Women's title winner now, even though we're not quite sure who Asuka's opponent will be? I don't mind doing that if other people want to.
Yeah.
So we can say it'll either be Asuka or an other, and you pick depending on who you think may fill that challenger role. Rach, who have you got in the women's title match?
I don't think it's Becky because I don't think she's going to come back.
A little bit early, I think, for Becky Lynch, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they put the title on her straight away.
No, I don't want to see Charlotte.
No.
I'm going to say Alex. I was going to say Miss Bliss.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to say Miss Bliss.
Is that you think will be the opponent, or is that who you think will be the opponent and win the title or win the match?
Oh no, I don't think she's going to win the match. I think Asuka's still going to win the match.
Yeah, so
I think she's going to be the opponent.
You think she will be? Yeah, fair enough. So Asuka for Rach, Vicky, Asuka or question mark?
I'm actually going to agree with Rach because I was thinking about this once I found out about it, and her and Asuka have been kind of, at odds with each other in the last few Raws and whatever. So I'm going to say that she's going to be with Bliss, but I also agree with Rach on the fact that I think Asuka is going to retain, and it could make a bigger storyline in that way. But yeah, I'm going to go with Asuka as well.
Okay, 2 for Asuka. Not suitable for Mum.
Well, the way this has been thrown together, logic would dictate that Asuka's going to win, right? Because this title seems to be floundering a bit. They don't really seem to know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Is there anybody worthwhile sticking the title on? And unless they've got a major surprise in store, which doesn't sound to me like they have, I can't see Asuka losing.
No.
Right? I like the idea of Miss Bliss. And I think if that was to happen, because there's still unresolved issues with Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
So, there could be interference from Nikki, whatever. There's a lot of all these stories intertwined, so it's difficult to say. But I think for the sake of argument, I'm going to go with Asuka as well, because it just makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay. 3 for Asuka. Funko Collector UK says Asuka retains until Becky takes it back at Mania. Yeah. But it still sounds a little bit early, Mania, for Becky. But I suppose, I would
spend more likely SummerSlam
by then. But I seriously doubt it'll be tomorrow or next month. Yeah. Bliss won't be anywhere near the title until Randy and Fiend are resolved. Scotty says Ronda to return. Oh, bloody hell, I picked Ronda. I was really struggling to pick the Women's Rumble. And Ronda was kind of like a desperation call, I think, for me by the end. Yeah. And Leroy says Oscar to win. He used to manage Men on a Mission, Leroy. Come on. You know that. By shoving a tiny gold statue up. No, it's Asuka. Never mind. I can see it being Charlotte again. I mean, bloody hell, if Charlotte is the mystery opponent, then it wouldn't surprise me if she won it. But no, just because there's too much uncertainty, I'm going to go with the safe option and say Asuka to retain against whoever it may be.
Can I just ask? There's been lots of rumours, and I don't know what's true, what's not. Is Paige set to return at some point? Or is she done?
She's done as far as I know.
Because I heard rumours that she wanted to come back.
Well, we said that about Edge. We said that about Daniel Bryan. So, I suppose never say never. But as far as we know, even Christian's supposed to be, back on at least a part-time capacity. As far as last I heard, anyway. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Well, he was in the Rumble. He was in the Rumble, wasn't he? So
wasn't just a one-off thing. I hope that means he will have, maybe another high-profile match or two.
One more match.
Well, yeah.
As he says.
Wrestling fans, though, is one more. You give them one more match. In the case of Shawn Michaels, you give him a terrible one in a tag team against the Brothers of Destruction, and then you pretend it never happened because it was shit in Saudi Arabia. So I feel like one more match again from HBK, but then he has another match. Might have want one more after that. We're never satisfied, are we? That's the problem. But we'll have to see how it goes regarding Christian, and suppose regarding Paige as well. But even if Paige was due to make a comeback, I don't think she's going to have anything to do with Elimination Chamber personally.
No.
That'd be, I think, a ways down the road. Right, so I do believe we have definitely got one more match left to predict now. Then, Ray.
It's the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Kofi Kingston. Now, Jay, you just mentioned the Fiend. Do we think the Fiend is going to come back tomorrow and get involved with Randy?
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be. There seems a lot of unresolved stuff regarding the Fiend and Randy Orton, and Elimination Chamber. Some sort of trickery or shenanigans would seem a likely venue for that to happen. But yeah, we've got.
You guys shut up, please.
What?
Sorry.
We've got.
I hit the mute and I didn't.
It's all right. We've got Drew McIntyre defending the title against Styles, Jeff Hardy, Orton, Sheamus, and Kingston. Second of two Elimination Chamber matches on the night. Which one will come first? We're not sure. I don't suppose it really matters. No point predicting which one's coming up first. But who have you got in this one, Rach?
I think I'm going to keep the title on Drew until WrestleMania. Because like you said, we still don't know if Edge is going to choose either Drew or Roman. So, so I think Drew's going to retain.
Okay. Drew McIntyre to retain. Vicky, who have you got for the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber?
Okay, first, sorry about that. Just they're swearing and everything up there. And
the panel with Jason, we used to like small people swearing all the time.
Yeah,
your kids. I've been behaving myself tonight.
Bigger than Jason, so.
Yeah, I thought I hit the mute button. That's why I did it. And then when I heard you guys react, I went, "Oh, great, didn't hit it." All right. Anyways, I think as much as Drew has had it for quite a while, and I like the fact that he's been doing really well with it and everything else. I don't see them giving it back to Orton or AJ right now or Kofi. I would like to see it on Sheamus, but I think they're going to save that like said, for WrestleMania to see who challenges. So I'm going to go with Drew as well.
2 for Drew. Is Jason Clow going to make it 3 for Drew?
It's a tough one. They're not going to give it to Kofi twice in succession. That's just not going to happen.
Well, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago then. Okay, well, anyway, whatever.
It was like a one-time sort of sensation. I mean, if Kofi somehow became WWE champion again, I wouldn't turn my nose up at it.
No, but
I don't think he's going to get put in that position. Certainly not tomorrow, and not
no.
Yeah.
And partly because they're still doing the stuff with Xavier. And what would they do with Xavier if Kofi's champ again? So I can't see that happening. I agree what you say about AJ and Randy. Randy especially. How many more times are they going to fight each other over the title? The only one I can see, like you said, really doing it is Sheamus, because of the way they've been building the storyline. But I don't think it's going to be yet. Mania, quite possibly. So I think I'm going to have to go for Drew for now, but I don't think him and Sheamus are done yet.
No. All right, we've got 3 for Drew McIntyre to retain. Quick look at the chat. Andrew says, "Yawn Drew all day long." Scotty says, "Drew for the win. He will win. He'll win it all against Sheamus, and then they will set up a match for the next pay-per-view." Rodders, 7 watches, 3 likes. Hit that thumb, people. Yeah, thank you for that. And Andrew would like AJ versus Edge to happen, but don't see it this year. Well, no, hopefully some point down the line. I think that'd be a spectacular match if that was to happen. This one, it's on one hand, it seems simple. It seems like, Drew McIntyre, he's had the full promotional weight thrown behind him, and rightly so. I sung his praises last month, and I've sung his praises previous. I think he's been a great champion. Really glad that he retained against Goldberg last month, and I would like to see him go into WrestleMania as the champion. Even, I don't know, is it better for a heel champion going into WrestleMania though? That's why I'm a little bit. I don't know. I wouldn't have said that Sheamus has got another world title running him, but a brief one maybe that could last till Fastlane or maybe WrestleMania, perhaps. McIntyre versus Sheamus seems a decent enough match, maybe in the middle of the card or at the beginning of a card at, say, Fastlane. But do I really want to see that at WrestleMania? Not really. Sheamus isn't kind of WrestleMania title match caliber for me anymore. His time's been and gone. In a way, it's a shame a guy like Cesaro wasn't on the Raw brand, and then maybe he'd be getting a good spot in that Chamber match, and maybe he'd be the one going on maybe even to WrestleMania to face Drew McIntyre. But there's a lot of good contenders on SmackDown, and I think Raw, when you discount Randy Orton, who we're all bored with, well, I am, AJ Styles, who I love, and but I think they're giving him a break in relation to any long title reigns. Jeff Hardy, I'd love to see Jeff Hardy get another title shot, get another title win.
It would be out of nowhere, though. I
don't think McIntyre versus Jeff Hardy is a WrestleMania match. It's a match I'd like to see somewhere. I just don't think we're going to see it at WrestleMania. It's weird that Sheamus seems the apart from Drew to retain, but Sheamus seems the likely winner of this match for me. So it's a toss-up, but if Sheamus won, and I'm not picking him yet, I'll make the decision in a sec. But if he was to win, he's not going to have a long title run because nobody really wants to see Sheamus as the company's top guy or Raw's top guy in 2021. I don't mind Sheamus. I'm just kind of you know, he's spent too long sort of mired in the mid card, not doing much, and I'm not that invested in his feud with McIntyre, and that's not McIntyre's fault. It's not even Sheamus's fault, really. It's just the way it is. It's like I think I said last month. Monday Night Raw is the drizzling shits. To be honest, it's not worth my time. You know, if you can dedicate 3 hours of your life every week to that crap, then good luck to you. So
I think even with the draft didn't help matters at all. It was fine for SmackDown.
Oh, it's pointless. I don't know why bother with these drafts. Like each one seems more pointless than the last.
Yeah, it's like I said to
Drew McIntyre. I think he's been a great champion. I mean, but he's having to carry a really, really dismal brand.
Yeah,
and it's thanks to that. It's thanks to Raw just being so shoddily written and shoddily booked that Drew McIntyre won't be the WrestleMania. Well, he might be maybe the night one main event, maybe because it's over 2 nights this year. Even then, not necessarily. There's probably so many other tantalizing options regarding WrestleMania main events. Some of them won't even be for world titles. I mean, we've got the whole Reigns is going to be main eventing one of the nights, likely night 2, I would have said.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to go for Drew McIntyre to retain. There'll be some singles match with Sheamus down the line, hopefully at Fastlane, where it's just over and done with. And then I'll be interested to see how they prepare McIntyre for WrestleMania, because I can't see who his opponent's going to be, whereas Reigns seems to have a lot of options.
yeah.
McIntyre's options, for the way I see it, seem really limited.
None.
Well, a
bit of a brand shuffle, like between now and WrestleMania.
I mean, the only person who makes sense, right? Even that's a bit crap. Is the Miz with his money in the bank case?
Yeah,
right. That's the thing. But do you, again, like you said about Sheamus, do you want Miz at WrestleMania again necessarily?
Yeah.
Well, no, not particularly. I mean, I think Money in the Bank. I mean, in hindsight, they might have been better off just cancelling that match, that pay-per-view last year.
Yeah.
It was obvious that when Otis won it, he was never going to successfully cash it in. And now the Miz, I think, because he's on the same brand as McIntyre, and they don't want to have McIntyre look a chump against, Miz and Morrison with shenanigans and what have you. I think the Money in the Bank briefcase is kind of a dead duck, really, by now, and like they ought to write it off television. They ought to have like Miz. I mean, it'd be a shame if like Miz, cashed in just like on a random episode of Raw or something, and then lost, and that was it. But at least into the whole, oh look, I'm carrying the briefcase thing, and then maybe like the next time a Money in the Bank pay-per-view comes round, then like start from scratch, actually book someone who you can see being a good world champion, a good WWE Universal champion.
Yep.
Let me just have a look at the chat here. Cloudy with a chance of UFO says Stone Cold for the win. Well, yeah. I mean, you're about 20 years too late, Cloudy, but yes.
You never know with the WWE.
Well, yeah.
Highly unlikely, but
I was a big Austin fan back in the day. I even liked him in his WCW days. I was very fond of the Hollywood Blondes on the Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
Clary says, hey guys and gals, hope all is well. Thank you for coming in, Clary. Rodder says, Money in the Bank should never been taken from Otis. Yeah, but would Otis have successfully cashed it in on Roman Reigns? No. On Drew McIntyre? No. Ryan Milky's in. Hey, my first time in the live predictions. Got to say, I've loved the entire thing. Thanks, guys. Oh, thank you very much, Ryan. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's a little bit of an abbreviated one tonight, as we're about ready to wrap up. I've got stuff that I still need to be doing tonight. I know Vicky's going to be streaming on Twitch later. And Vicky, if you want to drop your Twitch link or Twitch handle in the chat, then please do. Hopefully it'll come up because I know sometimes links don't get auto deleted, but give it a go anyway. You're more than welcome to plug your.
I think because I'm a moderator, it might not do it.
Right. Well, I will try and sort that. I will try and sort that out. Ready for next month, Vicky. I'll put you on moderation.
Anyone hear about what JR said on Wednesday night? He said, "Oh, Kenny Omega, the WWE champion." Instead of saying the AEW champion, he said the WWE champion. I was thinking, when did he beat Drew McIntyre? I think JR needs to retire.
Well, yeah, bless him. I mean, I'll always have a lot of time for JR just for, the contributions he's made as an announcer. But he should have hung the mic up and hung up the cowboy hat and the barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
After his, last WWE stint, really, which, sort of his later years in WWE, I don't think he was particularly brilliant, but he seems not even worse. There we are. Make sure, those of you who are on Twitch, go to twitch.tv/thenightOwl258. And if you like wrestling chat, then there's going to be plenty more with Vicky, and I think Jason will be joining her on the panel. So you're going to see those two beautiful faces again tonight for more wrestling chat. And I'm now going to kill myself because I called Jason.
Yeah, don't cough up and try living.
But that's going to be it from us. We will be back next month on YouTube to preview Fastlane. And then shortly after that, it'll be an exciting live show for us because we'll be predicting WrestleMania, of course. So that's always a good one to do. We've enjoyed this one. Like I say, apologies that it's been a little bit short, but we have discussed all the matches, so it's not like we're skipping stuff, and I don't feel like we've rushed massively either. So it's WWE booking a card with only 5 or 6 matches on it. Thank you everyone for coming in. Rodders, Scotty, Andrew, anyone else I'm forgetting, Ryan, Cloudy, thank you all. Of course, thank you to Leroy Screwballs as well, who's probably been in gone. Thank you to the panel, to Rach, to Vicky, and to Jason. Always appreciate you doing this with me, and hope you'll join me again for the Fastlane show.
Indeed.
And that's about it. So we'll all say goodbye and enjoy Elimination Chamber tomorrow night if you're watching it. Cheers, everybody. We'll see you.